Oh. Hey, Deb. Hey, Jules. Hey, Sydney. Hey, Bugs. Hey, Samuel. Lucky Star, Deb. You don't know me. I guess I need to put a banner up. Let me go to my effects. No, let me go to stickers. Stickers. So, no, I don't want that. Get that off of there. No. Go away. Not y'all, the sticker. Oh, Lordy. Let me put the ad up of the person that we're going to talk about tonight. And then, once we get to Joesquirrel, I'll change it. Now, let me get this off of here. So, I can get... Where did Bugs go? Why is it not letting me? Okay. There she is.
I'm right here.
Okay. Okay, so Bugs has been. Where did my sticker go? Yeah, I probably. You know what? Probably need to do that. Can you comment? Never mind. I found it. You don't have to. So welcome in, everybody. I hope everybody's had a good week. I know things have been crazy with the weather. And there's talk of more snow depending on where you're at. Let me put that sticker back up again since it doesn't want to seem to stay. I went to the grocery store after work today, and I'm going to tell you, it was crazy. So let me wait and see. Get some more people in here. I haven't been on much today. I was doing a lot of uploading to my YouTube, and I was going through a lot of screenshots, doing a lot of redacting, and me and Bugs were talking back and forth. Me and her worked on this, went down this huge rabbit hole. I told Bugs, I sure know how to pick these people, don't I?
Yes, you do.
I don't know what I did with my rules. I need a whole paperwork overall in my office. It is a hot mess express. Oh, that's a SA's information. You don't need that right now. Oh, that's somebody's embezzlement record. Yeah. No idea with it. Anyway, we'll go ahead and go over the rules. No bullying, no harassment in the chat. Please don't get into arguments. Mods, you know, if somebody does get really out of line and they've already had a warning, just go ahead and mute them. Please don't block anybody. People will come in here on burners to listen. Oh, warning. Yeah, turn your camera on. I will in a minute. Be respectful. And if you have beef with somebody, please take that somewhere else. Go light up your own light, so to speak, and go on your own platform. Take care of that. This live tonight is about a girl named Paige. Let me see if I can get my green screen on. I really had a hard time with this last time. Because TikTok has changed their layout. Let's see if I can pull her up here. If I can pull that to the front. No. Alright. Let me get her profile and I'll just show it to you. Let me get this green screen back off. Okay. This is Paige. Darn that phone. So initially, I started watching her, and I had to go back. Either go lay down or go get settled. There you go. I had to go back and look, but according to my following on a burner, I've been following her since the summer. So I started noticing a pattern of her posting videos, begging, asking for help, claiming that she's in a DV situation. And so I kind of backed off. Thought, okay, DV. But then I kept watching. And I kept watching and I kept seeing it and seeing these videos. And then I started noticing a pattern of her after she would get what she wanted from the begging, she started what we call dirty deleting the videos, and they were disappearing. And so about probably in December, I started recording videos because I knew if I just said, well, I'm going to cover this person, and I didn't have the videos recorded, they weren't going to be there, number one. Number two, I've already experienced this with Ariana. She did the same thing. She frantically, after she knew that the live was going to happen, she frantically started deleting everything off her page. So I started recording videos and I started noticing a lot of inconsistencies in the things that she was saying. So I'm going to go ahead and go to my YouTube. These videos are listed on private. I just wanted them there so that I could play them for you as proof. And so we'll get started. The first one I have is from November the 6th. Let me get this back off again.
Everyone that has been following along and helping me and my son, we were accepted into a transitional housing program with controlled rent and help with utilities, so my full income will not be going to my home anymore. I have been praying to God for months and months since we got out of the domestic violence for an answer to this struggle, for a way out without taking my life, because I am a mother and I cannot leave my son, but I cannot keep living like this. The move that we are making, my housing expenses will be about $1,000 less a month than what they are now. I have the money to break my current lease and cut off my current account with my utility company where I'm at now. I have to raise the funds in the next week or so to cut on power and water for my new home. That is all I don't have. I have deposit, everything else. I need $300. If I can raise that, we can move and get out of this situation.
Okay, so you see that that's 11/6 is when I recorded that. So this is going to be important later. So let's go to shorts. What do we have next? I think we have the 11th next. These are kind of in random order, so be patient.
Having a very hard morning. Those of you that have been following us know that I am trying to move me and my son into a safe house, a house where no one will know where we are. No one knows the address. I am struggling to come up with the money to move into that house.
Yeah, I'm not bad.
I've paid for all the deposits, rent, electricity, but I'm $200 short for my moving help. And yes, of course, if I have to, I will leave everything behind and just say, fuck it, and just go. But me and my son deserve to have clean clothes in our washer and dryer, in our stove, and our fridge. We deserve to have those things in our new home. And I have worked myself to the bone trying to make this move happen for us. It is just not happening. People say, call family, but what if you don't have family to call? I've reached out to all of the domestic violence centers in my area, and they just don't have the funding unless we're homeless. There's no help they can give us. So I've taken the 2 jobs. I've donated plasma. I've sold everything I own worth $1 to try to get this done, and it's just not happening. I'm extremely tired and stressed. I'm very stressed. I just need help. I've faced a lot of bullying and a lot of mean comments from people when I reached out for help. It's not like I'm just sitting on my ass and putting my hand out. I'm working 2 jobs and doing all these side gigs, and I'm still falling short, and that's why I'm asking for help. We need help raising this last $200 to get into our new house to be safe. That is all we need help with. Having a very hard.
So you see, that's the same thing that she said back in November. So,
having a very hard morning.
So yeah, I started really this is a repeating cycle. I don't know who's requesting. Okay, must be an accident. So yeah, I started noticing some things, and I said, well, let me keep watching. Let's see. I think the 13th. Would be next. I see y'all asking questions in the chat, Sydney. I will get to your question in a little bit, because that's going to be very important in a minute.
Ignorant and hateful comments. When you go through domestic violence, if you press charges and the abuser is sentenced to prison, like happened in my case, his dad went to prison, you do not get child support. You do not get any money from the father while he is actively locked up within the state. Yes, it can happen as soon as he gets out, but for the stint of the time he is incarcerated, you don't get money. Number 2, if you have a GoFundMe, the total number that it shows is the total number of donations since the time you have opened the GoFundMe. If you opened it a year ago, 2 years ago, and it's still open, that's the total amount you have got in donations since the beginning of the fundraiser, not what you actively have sitting in it that you can withdraw. Beside each donation, when you click on the GoFundMe, it shows a date that it was donated, whether it was a month ago, 2 months ago, 6 months ago, it shows. So if you're saying, why do you need help? You have $3,000 in the GoFundMe. Please go and look at the donation dates. Please. The last donation I got was, a week ago, and I'm very grateful for that. It was $15. So There's not $3,000 sitting anywhere. I have used that since August to help for moving expenses, to pay deposits, to pay rent. My rent's $1,500 a fucking month. And then
remember that, $1,500 a
okay,
month.
if I had family, don't you think I would do that? Like, that is the stupidest comment you can make to somebody. I'm not just sitting here with a fucking thumb up my ass, like, oh, let me just beg. Let me just do nothing about my situation and just ask people for help. I work 2 jobs. I drive a forklift and I work for a food company. I'm doing Uber. I'm donating plasma. I'm babysitting, pet sitting. Like, I'm doing everything fucking possible that I can do to support myself. Like, that just, people don't even ask questions. They just see what they want to see and then just assume. So please just ask. I don't care. If you want to ask, that's perfectly fine. I am making it public by putting it out here. But if you don't know the facts, don't speak.
Oh, I got some facts. So, baby daddy is a registered SO. Here's baby daddy. Baby daddy doesn't like registering. You see that? Fail to register. I hate it when it does that. Go to the next one. This just wasn't one time. This is a bunch of times.
That's me digging.
That's your digging. That's correct. That is correct.
And this is all public information.
Yeah, it's public. Everything we can find is public. You can see here, December 2023. He was arrested. Unemployed. Then here, June 21, 2023. Probation violation. Lots of interesting information. We kept going down rabbit holes, and I mean, this girl has more names than anybody I've ever seen. Here's some mug shots. I will. I post it to my YouTube, Lori. Here's some mug shots, and then I will show you where he is at on her old Instagram. Good girl. I got so many screenshots, guys. Bear with me. You see the tats, the neck tats? Definitely, that's him. And this post is from December 10th, 2021. Yeah, I've seen him, but I ain't heard him begging yet, so, yeah. I got too many of these video beggars lined up to do. Next one we're going to do is Bugs pick. Because I've been picking, so she's got to pick, so we're gonna do that one next. Here you are in, and she goes by Taylor as well. That's another name she goes by. Here she is welding in the 2021. Welders make damn good money. And then you said you don't have no family. Where are you at? This is the best birthday I've ever had. I'm so thankful for all my family that took the time to get together. So, I think you might be lying about some stuff. Um, let's see, what do we want to do next?
By putting it out here. But if you don't know the facts, so many ignorant and hateful comments.
I'm gonna replay this just one more time, guys. See if I missed anything.
If you press charges and the abuser is sentenced to prison, like happened in my case, his dad went to prison, you do not get child support. You do not get any money from the father while he is actively locked up within the state. Yes, it can happen as soon as...
Now, we cannot find where he is currently locked up anywhere. He was locked up on in August for
Criminal trespass.
probation. Do what?
That was criminal trespass.
Yeah, the criminal trespass, and then there was a charge for I guess it was probation violation again.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that was for not registering again, but I can't find where he's in county anywhere, and I can't find where he's not in state. He's not, he's not in a big house. So, yeah.
Locked up within the state. Yes, it can happen.
And he does have another child that he does not pay child support on.
You don't get money. Number two, if you have a GoFundMe, the total number that it shows is the total number of donations since the time you have opened the GoFundMe. If you opened it a year ago, 2 years ago, and it's still open, that's the total amount you have got in donations.
Okay, so let's go to the GoFundMe. Yeah, I don't. Let me take a screenshot real quick. I gotta take her kid's picture out. I try really hard to redact things and not show kids, because they're innocent. Let me get you the updates too, so you can see those. Because she just got a $200 donation, so I had this already screenshotted, but I had to I wanted to do it while it's current. So, let me do that. Let me take out her last name. Of course, that's really not her last name anymore.
We don't know what her actual last name is.
She got so many names, it's unreal. I ain't never seen. Let me take his face out of this one too. So, okay. And then we've got oh, he's in this one too. Yeah, I don't want it. Okay. Okay. So this is the GoFundMe. 3.5K. You see she's gotten $3,266. Like I said, she just got a $200 donation, which Bugs told me about. And then here's the GoFundMe word. I'm a mom to a 2-year-old little boy. I have recently went through domestic violence with the loss of help and extra income. I'm now worried about our home, utilities, and main living expenses while I find an immediate second job. I'm utilizing resources for the DV in the meantime to help as well. This is one of the hardest times in my life. I need support. And you'll see her Venmo, Taylor Angel. I don't know where the name Angel came from. Then you'll see the updates. Continued. the horrible ice storm we encountered. It took a whole week away from my income. I'm doing Uber, 2 jobs to catch up. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And then this was in November. And like I said, this has been going on for months and months. I wish I had videos that were older. But I don't. Really covering these video beggars, they're a lot different than recording people that are live. And you see the GoFundMe was made in February of 2025. Much, much different than her saying this start happening in August. But she'll say that in another video that she had this GoFundMe up for something else. So when she said that, I immediately thought, well, have you done this before? So there's that. Let me finish this one.
2 years ago, and it's still open. That's the total amount you have got in donations since the beginning of the fundraiser, not what you actively have sitting in it that you can withdraw. Beside each donation, when you click on the GoFundMe, it shows a date that it was donated, whether it was a month ago, 2 months ago, 6 months ago, it shows. So if you're saying, why do you need help? You have $3,000 in the GoFundMe. Please go and look at the donation dates. Please. The last donation I got was, I don't know, a week ago, and I'm very grateful for that. It was $15. So there's not $3,000 sitting anywhere. I have used that since August to help for moving expenses, to pay deposits, to pay rent. My rent's $1,500 a fucking month. And then the last comment, call your family. Okay, if I had family, don't you think I would do that? Like, that is the stupidest comment you can make.
No, she has the one, Jules. She said she changed it.
Like, oh, let me just beg. Let me just do nothing about my situation and just ask people for help. I work 2 jobs. I drive a forklift and I work for a food company. I'm doing Uber. I'm donating plasma. I'm babysitting, pet sitting. Like, I'm doing everything fucking possible that I can do to support myself. Like, that just, people don't even ask questions. They just see what they want to see and then just assume. So please just ask. I don't care. If you want to ask, that's perfectly fine. I am making it public by putting it out here. But if you don't know the facts, don't speak.
Okay, can anybody tell me, can you donate plasma if you're on subs?
No.
Because see, Christina Tess says the same thing, that she donates plasma and she's on subs. So I don't know. I don't have any experience with that first-hand knowledge, but I don't know. Oh, here's one from the 12th. Let's play that.
An update. We're down to 1 day left to get everything out of the house that we're in now. I'm just extremely frustrated and I feel defeated because there are so many domestic violence agencies surrounding me, one in every county, and they cannot help. You have to get help from the one in your county. And if the one in your county does not have funding and cannot help you, you cannot get help from the surrounding. At least that's how it is here in North Georgia where I'm at. So I've called out of my county to the surrounding ones, and yes, they can help until they get my address, and I say, yeah, this is where I live, and they have to verify it. Oh, nope, sorry, we can't help you. You need to go to such and such place. Well, such and such doesn't have any funding, and they're not helping, so what do I do? It pisses me off because domestic violence is not taken seriously. It's not. Just because I'm not in active eviction or homeless doesn't mean that I don't need help right now. I'm working 2 jobs. I'm doing Uber. I'm donating plasma. I've sold everything basically that I own besides clothes and furniture and pots and pans to try to get ahead and, make a life for myself and my son. And it's like, whatever, whatever. I had to save up for 2 months to buy the washer and dryer that I'm leaving behind tomorrow, that I don't have help moving. So it just pisses me off. People are all the time telling women to leave, don't stay in the abuse, but when they do leave, there's no help. There's nobody rallying behind. There's nobody sticking their neck out to support. It's nasty, hateful comments. And all people are saying is call a domestic violence shelter, go to a shelter. Yeah, I've tried that.
excuses after excuses. Let's see.
Do you have the video that she made this morning showing the bottles?
Yeah, I'm gonna get to that. I'm trying to go in order. So
Okay.
I have dates on all these, but you know, when you have videos on multiple devices, gets a little hairy. Here's the next one. Of domestic violence, it really hurts when I reach out for help and all people do is talk shit and make fun of me. When I went through the domestic violence in August of last year with he was still 1 at the time, a 1-year-old. I called the DV centers, churches, everywhere, and no one had funding and no one could help us. The only thing they could help us do was press charges, and I did. And his dad got a prison sentence of only 6 months. So the time it took me to save the money to get out of the home that we lived in together for a deposit, first and last month's rent, while still paying car payments, rent in my current house, and everything else, I'm short. And because of that, someone made the nasty comment, women in hiding don't show their face if they're scared to death. I didn't say I was scared to death. I said I needed help moving. I'm down to a month left, and a couple $100 for a moving truck. And I'm getting made fun of because of that. This is why women don't leave. You right there. So, it's just so many inconsistencies in the dates that she's supposed to move. And I'll show you some more proof later about the, you know, she says she saved up to get this washer. Now, whether she bought a used washer or not, I don't know, but I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you the washer here in a little bit. Long for me and my son after we got out of domestic violence. Everyone helped us and prayed for us, and we finally got into a new house. That took about 4.5, 5 months of saving, working 2 jobs, doing Uber to get us there into that house to get everything secure. I had the, the deposit for the rent, first and last, security deposit, and for my power, but I didn't have enough for water. So I've been doing Uber after work and, working my 2 jobs, but I'm still coming up short. I had to get a car. My car clunked out on me, so now I have a car payment, which is not, the best thing in the world, but we do what we have to do. Everybody does. I am asking for prayers and that we possibly get the water connected for me and my son. And we're good to go. The new house, I'm proud of it. I'm proud you see that video's been deleted too.
Money and worked hard to do that for us and worked hard to get that car for us. But the water would be great. Everyone that's been following along.
So, you say you went and got a car. So, I'm going to show you a series of screenshots that were sent to me privately. I'm not going to reveal my source, obviously. But why did you put money into another car? Then here's the receipt for the car, which I'm going to show this video in a little bit. I've marked out the place, obviously. But this $1,500 receipt she shows. She bought the car on 12/19/2025. Yeah, it's kind of alarming, Jules. Why is she always driving? Yeah. A little bit crazy, huh? Wonder what you're hiding. And you'll notice that says MasterCard. So it's not like she paid cash with it. I don't know. Let me get to these screenshots. Okay, so it says, do you have Venmo, Zelle, or Apple Pay on your phone? I can send you that amount. I'd rather send it to you directly than GoFundMe take a part of it. I have Venmo. Thank you so much. I've been living paycheck to paycheck because my current house costs $2K a month to rent. Now, this girl's living in a trailer. I don't know trailers that cost $2,000 a month to rent. But I could be wrong. But yeah, there's that. Found the next one. And it says, my GoFundMe deposit is pinned for tomorrow. As soon as it hits, I'll send the money back to you. Okay, thank you. And you see this November 25th. It says here, yes, it was. Thank you for sending that. I'm paying my bill now. These might be a little out of order. You're welcome. Now you're good. When the GoFundMe comes through, you'll have an additional 100 for groceries after that donation today. It all works out. She says there's an additional 70 in the GoFundMe that hasn't processed yet, so we have a good bit left over, I guess, when that comes through. And here she's okay, I got an hour to pay it. I'm trying to wait as long as possible before. Just don't cut it too close. And she says, okay, if you don't mind sending the other 100. Of course, if I get any more donations, I will send them back straight to you instead of waiting for GoFundMe. It has to be paid by 5. I think it's cutting it pretty close. It's 4:13 here. And it says, yep, I'll do it now. Look at the package I got today. I was so happy to have a Bible. Now, I never saw an Amazon link in her bio around Christmas, but apparently she did have an Amazon wish list, and she was sending that to people on the back end to buy her things. Then it says here, my starter has gone out. Perfect timing, of course. Oh no, is it expensive to fix? I guess, do you have anyone to help you fix it? Are you getting any help? Oops. No anyone to help fix it. Okay. It's really high if it has to go in the shop. My landlord said she would help me with half of it and let me pay it to her before we move. Darn it. And she knows someone that could do it. I called a local shop and it was $685 for it to be done. And then in this one, she says the GoFundMe finally cleared this evening. I'm going to the bank in the morning so I can send that to you. He was sponsored for Christmas by a local toy company. Look at this toy we got today. Oh my God, I'm so excited. I'm thrilled for you how important it must be to provide with him an extra special Christmas. I'm so happy. Good things are happening for you. It has a little trailer that goes inside of it. Look at the toys donated. I think he got too much. Then here we go on December the 10th. I'm going to the bank tomorrow to send your money back. My car tore up Sunday evening and was just fixed this afternoon. Now, remember, this is the 10th. I was so worried and stressed out. I'm so blessed it was able to get fixed, even though it took a few days. We had cabin fever. We immediately went out tonight just to go. The Venmo is not in my account. Have you seen it? And this is on the 14th. Blocked. And that came directly from that person. So these screenshots are from Venmo. Thanks for blocking me and not paying back the loan. I thought you were a sincere person. And you see right there where she sent her the $100. This time, she sent her a quarter. I guess she was a little mad. I kind of can't blame her, right? Where is the screenshot of her cussing her out? She says here, I deleted TikTok, which that's bullshit, and Venmo after my ex got out and found us. You said he was serving 6 months. This is December the 18th. But since you want to threaten me over a measly $100, here you go. Your items will be returned to Amazon that you made sure to throw in my face. So I guess $100 to her is measly. I find that to be so rude. Oh, and at the bottom here, it cut it off on that screenshot. At the bottom, it says, "You're so petty." Really? This is your attitude. And you got your car fixed on the 10th, but yet on the 19th, you went and bought a brand new one? A lot of inconsistencies, guys. A lot of inconsistencies. Keep your money in your pocket. Because these people, they don't appreciate anything. At all. They don't appreciate nothing. So then, when she found out the live was going to happen, and I'm not condoning this, but she said, sent her a quarter and said, "I see you got outed scamming people on TikTok." And she sent her this reply back. I'm going to have to zoom in on it. She said, "Go F yourself or I'll press charges for harassment. I haven't scammed anyone." So, there's that. Next video. I'm going to go down, play this one.
I just got off of work. We had a short first day back from the bad weather. I am down. Sorry, I was trying to wait for him to cry. I'm down to 2 days to come up with the money to keep my utilities and my heat on, and that feels horrible just even saying, as someone that works 2 jobs. Missing 6 days with the ice storm, that really hurt me. I know a lot of people locally that depend, that live week to week, paycheck to paycheck. I am able to make rent, but I'm not going to have enough for the utility.
Rent. You literally just moved into this place. How do you already owe rent? When you said you had $3,000 to get into this place. This is Paige, Taylor, Angel. I don't know. I can't tell you. She got a lot of names. But you just moved in this place. How are you already paying the rent? And how are your utilities already due? Like, it don't make no sense. Nothing adds up here.
Not going to have enough for the utilities, and I'm just, getting out of domestic violence. It's been really hard. I've called everybody's still calling me telling me to call 211, churches, things like that, and I've called like over 260 places with women in my community helping, trying to resource these things and these programs to help. And the domestic violence center in my county is not helping because I'm not homeless and I'm not in active eviction. So because I'm working and I'm managing to pay rent, I'm not getting the help that I deserve. And I'm not asking for a handout, but if I'm still struggling after the 2 jobs, I wanted, help with financial literacy, savings, help with learning how to get ahead and going back to school. So if you could just pray for us, not having power in the middle of winter. I feel like a shit mom right now. And I'm not, but I feel like it. It took me 5 months to save the money to get us out of our old house and into our new house with the domestic violence. With paying rent, I had started to pay rent and all the bills for the house I was in while I was trying to save the money to get a new house, and then I had to get a new car. So if you can just engage and help get this video out, that alone really helps me right now. Commenting, likes, shares, anything at all. Even if it's $1 or $5, I'm going to put every single dollar that I have on my power account. And even if I don't get all of it, every little bit helps. So since I'm getting so many ignorant and hateful comments, when you go through domestic violence.
So, this is the video. Like I said, this has been recently deleted. So you saved 2 months to get that washer? That's a washer. Why won't it play? There it goes. I had to mute the sound on this. And you can see that his face is edited out. But she puts her son on the camera. I don't know, sunshine. Lights me up every time.
Close to 9:30, we're going to start doing Uber. We're going to go ahead and start.
So I have a better screenshot of this to show you. But that's not the Uber app on your car there, lady. It's actually just Google Maps. Where is it at? Everything starts to look tiny and it all blends together. There it is. That's Google Maps. That's not Uber. Nowhere on this does that say Uber. Anywhere. I reached out to some people and they said definitely not. Definitely not. And then I went and done my own research on YouTube, and every video I saw had some kind of Uber mark on it. I do not see that on here at all. And another thing is that if you have a small child, would you do Uber? Would you have a child in your car and let strangers into your car? Especially after you've been through, quote, DV. So, I don't get it.
30, we're going to start doing Uber. We're going to go ahead and start. We've got 30 minutes. Got Little with me, and we're going to start 2 orders so far. 11:14, we've been doing the Uber for about, let's say, an hour, 15 minutes. Monday morning, it is...
So, I'm not buying it.
Those of
Not
you
1
that
minute.
know me and my 2-year-old son got out of domestic violence, and we moved into a new house with everybody's help, and we working 2 jobs. I saved around $3,000 to move, but I'm trying to get our water on. I have been doing Uber. This was for today. It's not a very good day for deliveries for us, so I made about $15 for the total for the day to go towards it, and I'm trying to raise the rest to get our water on. We are in the south. We are going to have a bad storm this weekend, so I'm trying to get prepared so we can wash, our blankets, things like that, towels, be prepared, have water, have some saved up. That's really what I'm worried about, to be able to, flush toilets, things like that. But if anybody can just engage and help us, I'm working as hard as I can, working 2 jobs, and then doing Uber afterwards, trying to get ahead, so. You guys to ask for help for me and my son. I work a full-time job. I work night shift. I usually get my check.
You work night shift? Who's watching a kid? Thank you for the taps, guys. Who's watching a kid? You say you don't have nobody. Like, yeah,
Exactly.
night
Who's
shift.
watching that little boy while she's working?
Yeah, you working all these jobs. Who's watching that baby in the middle of the night? Don't tell me it's going to daycare. I don't. No. Because you say you don't get, and it's in a video. I'm sure it's in the sea of stuff that I have. That she gets no assistance. She gets no state funded assistance. So you didn't say, "Oh, I get a daycare voucher" or anything like that. So who's watching this kid while you're working a night shift?
I work night shift. I usually get my check when I go in Friday evening. Because of the storm that we're getting, my work is closed tonight and tomorrow night, and over the weekend, so we cannot get our paychecks until hopefully Monday if it's not bad. It's supposed to be 14 degrees here, but I am worried about emergency food for me and my son over.
Now, she didn't say I didn't work Thursday because you got Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. That's 6 days that she said she missed work. Now, here, where I'm at, in North Carolina, we didn't start getting anything until Saturday. So why in the world would you have been on for 6 days?
The weekend if we get snowed in. I do not have enough groceries right now. I'm literally doing my best. I've just paid thousands and thousands of dollars to move us into a new home after domestic violence, and I'm working my ass off, but I'm just not making it 100% right now, and we need help. Just like peanut butter, jelly, bread, a case of water, extra gallon of milk for him, small things that we could get at Dollar General possibly, or the Dollar Tree for cheap as possible. I tried to do extra Uber today because my job was closed and I didn't get one ride or one order because it was pouring down rain here in Georgia. So if anyone could help at all, I would be extremely, extremely grateful. I tried to see if some food banks were open tomorrow. I haven't had any responses back. So if anyone could help, just please let me know. I have my stuff posted in my bio. I'm just, as a mom, I'm worried if it was just me, I would be okay. But I love my son, and he has to be okay. It's in their everyday life.
And I'll show you something here in a minute about resources. She knows all about them.
I work 2 jobs. One is full-time, one is part-time, and I do Uber on the side. Around Christmas, I had to buy a new car. See, that says Jefferson.
I'm going to turn that down. I don't want to, where she got the car.
Down payment to get a new car. A lot of people don't have that saved up. I didn't. That was all the money I had. On top of that, last week I had to move. That was $3,000. So I'm sorry if I don't have enough money for groceries with a storm coming. I worked my fucking ass off to survive just like everybody else.
She's a little angry in that
I
one.
just wanted to make an update video. Yes, I'm in the car. This is the only time that I have private time to myself, like a few minutes of quiet in between jobs and taking him to school and Uber and everything else. So we'd get the groceries that we needed.
Now, unless he's in a preschool program, he's not in school. He's 2 years old.
Some were delivered, and then I was sent money to go get things that we needed, like toilet paper, batteries, flashlights, candles, things like that I just don't have right now. They're not necessities.
No, I've never seen her go live, just videos.
We do not have water as of right now. With me moving, I had to pay, first last month's rent, security deposit. I had to make a deposit to get power cut on.
She said the neighbor watched the kid. Was that before she moved or after?
Right now, I'm going to Pilot Truck Stop to take a shower. It's $30 every time we have to shower because they charge for him too, not just me. So I am still trying to get that cut on. It would be great if we can have it before we're possibly stuck at home for days on end. Oh, that would be horrible. If we can't shower or bathe or flush a toilet, being stuck there, I don't know what we're going to do. And then the last thing is gas. I do need to fill up my car. We don't have propane or kerosene heater if the power goes out and we are absolutely stuck and cannot get on the road. We are going to have to go in my car for heat. I have a backup plan if the roads are safe and we can get somewhere else, but I don't know. We're playing it by ear, so I'm just trying to be as safe as possible. I was looking into getting a propane or kerosene heater, like a gas buddy, but right now I can't afford it. So, it's Friday. I hate doing Uber in my area because sometimes it's really great, and then like tonight, that really sucks when you're trying to make extra money and then you're driving out the little bit of gas that you do have to make the money. That was about 2.5 hours of driving. That's what I made. I know it's icy and snowy, but, you know, people still have to work. I hate doing Uber in my area because sometimes it's really great.
I wouldn't be doing it if that was all I made, but...
An update, we're down to long for me and my son after we get out of domestic... Long.
So this is furniture. Like, I don't know, that furniture looked pretty new to me.
Son, no, we have recently moved after getting out of domestic violence and into our safe house. We live in an area that was hit by the ice storm, you know, over the weekend, and I have missed 6 days of work, which is a whole paycheck, so I'm not going to be able to pay all of my power that is due by the end of the week, and we are going to be without heat and power, so I really, really need help. We're Ubering right now. I'm doing deliveries because my work is closed today. Go back tomorrow. I'm doing everything I can to try, you know, to earn extra money and get on my feet, and I'm really struggling. There's only so much that one person can do, and I'm doing it all. Donating plasma, doing the Uber. At some point, I feel like I failed as a parent, even though I got him safe. I'm struggling so bad, and it's just... I just need help. I don't want to have my son, you know, without heat and stuff, no matter what I have to do. I have my GoFundMe link. I'm trying to fulfill it with what I'm doing with Uber to try to hopefully get that paid and for us just to be safe through this until things warm up some. I know for help with utilities because me and my 2-year-old son are going to be without heat as of Wednesday night, Thursday morning.
No, listen. Okay, so Wednesday night, Thursday morning. Remember this, because today is Friday.
Work with the ice storm, so I had to make the choice between do I pay my rent or do I keep us warm and do I keep the power on?
She does a lot of videos sometimes.
I'm doing my best right now, and I don't have help.
No, that's not get it. You just paid to get in this place.
All hours of the day.
So
in the morning
how do
and
you
at
still?
night
How do you
after
owe
my son takes a
rent
nap if I don't work
and
because I'm
water
trying so hard
and
to
all
work.
this
That's all I'm doing
stuff
is
at the
working.
same time?
I can't
puzzle
afford
piece.
to miss 6 days of work like a lot of people can't, and we can't be without heat. So many people are saying call Tula and call the churches. Like, I have got no help since I've got out of domestic violence. I've got no help at all from any organization, any church, nothing. The people I've met here and then strangers I've met along the way within my community have helped me, and that's it. I've done it on my own, that's it. And then, you know, if your power gets cut off or disconnected, will have to make another deposit of $250, which I don't have because my credit is not the best.
But you just bought a brand new car.
So I am basically at this point begging for help.
I know, right, sunshine.
I have proof of income. I have proof of doing Uber, proof of everything I've bought and paid for and why I don't have the funds right now. And I'm willing to show that and send that to anyone to get help.
I can't see moving into a
It's
place that didn't have water. But, you know, it's her story to tell, not mine. I just put the information out.
Those of you that have been following along, I'm trying to raise funds for utilities after I missed 6 days of work due to the ice storm. I'm not somebody that's typically afraid to drive in the ice or the snow. I lived in Nashville for a couple years. I'm not afraid of it. It's just they weren't letting anybody come in. So no matter how hard you begged or asked or needed work, sorry, they weren't letting us come in. So far I've raised $100.
She said that was
I'm
before
still
she
down to
married.
needing $200 to get it paid for. I'm heading into work now to work my normal shift. Thank God we're back in. And then after that, I'm going to do Uber to try to raise money that way too. So thank you for anyone that has helped so far with donations to Venmo or GoFundMe. I will come back and share proof of the bill being paid after it's done if I accomplish that. Thank you. Everybody in. I'm making an update as far as my power situation goes. I have until this evening to come up with the remaining $200.
Okay, so this is Thursday. This is yesterday. She says she has till 6 p.m.
I have over half of the bill. No, I'm not behind.
I know that.
No,
I know who she's married to.
This is
She's married to an SO.
from last month.
I already showed that.
And it's over $400 with Georgia Power. I've had someone come out and look at my home, my new home too, to make sure nothing's over using energy. It's insulated correctly. Everything's sufficient, up to date.
You just moved into this place. You paid somebody to come and check to make sure the power's run efficiently? Where'd that money come from?
It is. That's just what the bills are running, I guess, when it's 10 and 15 degrees and 30 degrees. So I have called just about every place possible asking for help and showing my proof of income, and so far, nothing. I went through domestic violence, if you don't know that, last year, and yes, I pressed charges, and the abuser got a prison sentence, and even with that, the domestic violence center will not help because I'm not in active eviction and I'm not homeless. And to me, I'm sorry, that's bullshit. I'm a Christian woman, I don't cuss a lot, but it's bullshit because even though I am able to make rent every month, I am struggling very bad. Very bad. I'm working 2 jobs and then doing Uber after.
Don't be stupid, internet.
I'm making an update as far as my power situation goes. I have until this evening to come up with the remaining $200. I have over half of the bill. No, I'm not behind. No, this is not multiple months worth. This is 1 month from last month. And it's over $400 with Georgia Power.
$400.
I've had someone come out and
you've been there 9
look at
days.
my new home too, to make sure nothing's over using energy. It's insulated correctly. Everything's sufficient, up to date, and it is. That's just what the bills are running, I guess, when it's 10 and 15 degrees and 30 degrees. So I have called just about every place possible asking for help and showing my proof of income, and so far, nothing. I went through domestic violence, if you don't know that, last year, and yes, I pressed charges, and the abuser got a prison sentence, and even with that, the domestic violence center will not help because I'm not in active eviction and I'm not homeless. And to me, I'm sorry, that's bullshit. I'm a Christian woman, I don't cuss a lot, but it's bullshit because even though I am able to make rent every month, I am struggling very bad. Very bad. I'm working 2 jobs and then doing Uber after my shifts just to be able to afford groceries and things like that. And then missing 6 days of work, I can't afford utilities. And now in Georgia, we are supposed to have ice again this weekend, so they've already called work again for Saturday. So we're already missing more time.
So they've already called your work, and there ain't a thing on the ground yet for that. And we can obviously see in the videos that you've done that there's nothing on the ground currently. I call bullshit.
Savings are non-existent when you live paycheck to paycheck. I mean, it's just... I'm very defeated right now. Very. Very. Morning. I wanted to come on and specifically thank everyone.
Okay, so this is a response to a comment. You're not missing any meals, you know. I don't agree with these comments, obviously, because here she is making this video. If you make these kind of comments, what happens? These people just use it to get more money. So, I don't agree with these comments at all.
That helped me and my son, and that was extremely kind. Because you see the comment right here, you are not missing any meals, you are fine. I didn't say I didn't have any food in my house. I said I didn't have junk or anything that could be made without power, without heat to cook. Whether or not that I'm fat and overweight, I don't deserve to starve in a storm. If I'm going to be stuck in my house for days at a time, that has nothing to do with that. So be a kind human, you know. Hey guys, it's Saturday morning. As we go to the clinic, the outpatient clinic, to pick up my medications and prescriptions for the next 2 weeks. Sorry about my bumpy driveway. So come along.
Now, I put the sticker up so you can't see it, but she's pulling out of her driveway when she posts this video. You can see the whole, you can see behind her. I thought you were in a safe house. I thought so people wouldn't know where you are. But you made this video pulling out of your driveway? What?
7:59. Let's see how long it takes to get there. It's 8:58 and we're finally done. Officially dosed and done. I can't take my phone into the clinic, but I have my pickups and I'm going into work. If you aren't MAT, don't forget to take your meds today. And have a good Friday.
So that's this morning, right? That's Friday morning. There's no mention in this video of anything about the power. Here's the next video she posted.
Like $200 in your pocket. Why are you not?
Well, this is a different one. She deleted this. This is a live promotion thing she did. But see how happy she was last night? I mean, you don't act like you got a care in the world here. You ain't crying or nothing.
Update. Today it's Friday.
This was posted at 3 p.m. today.
Weather and off for the rest of the day until my night shift starts. We did not.
No, she never goes live. Just videos.
The power on. It was disconnected. I'm down to $175 that I need to have it put back on, and then a reconnection fee. They're going to work with me on that at least.
But you said the reconnection fee was $250.
And some more churches. I haven't heard anything back. The Domestic Violence Center, starting in February, their funding starts over.
That's what she says.
For a new year, so I'm hoping that maybe then they will be able to help. I don't know. So far they haven't been able to, but I'm still trying. I'm still trying. So I'm trying to raise that last bit to get it back on. It is supposed to snow. We're supposed to get 3 to 4 inches tomorrow, so it's going to be a rough weekend for us. Very bad weekend for us. We're going to have to find somewhere to stay or in the car for now. That's the only option I have is for us to sleep in the car. So, an update. Update today.
So that's the last video. Yeah, I don't get it. None of it makes any sense, guys. Bugs, anything you want to add? Is anything? Well, I'm going to go back through these screenshots one more time.
I would like to know who's watching her child if she's supposedly working 2 jobs.
Yeah, definitely. You can see here she was looking for a Christmas tree. I guess it's like a free Facebook site. She was looking for a Christmas tree. There's baby daddy again if you need to see that again. That's baby daddy's mugshot. Which, now here's a Facebook post. Her offering somebody resources. Can use them once a year for rent and utilities. You have to have paper proof of bills. You need help with lease or power bill and license, address online. This other place helps with utilities and rent up to $400 once. Then here's a church that offers resources. So, here she is asking about baby clothes. And just to show you, that is her picture. That is her Facebook profile. Then here's another one. If you can message me, I can give you places that can help with delivery groceries or a gift card for groceries. So yeah. And then here's a update as 12:15. We're down to $250 needed. It will be flight if I spell it differently. How would you know that? And that's for the heat and the power. Let's see what else. And here's the dose shot here for you. Because everybody keeps theirs in a safe. That's what that appears to be, is a safe. It looks like a lot for 2 weeks, but I don't know. Then here's a comment that was left. What about your family helping you? About the baby dad's parents helping you stay with friends or family until you're able. And then Pam says she has no one. She really doesn't, which I don't know who Pam is. I don't have family, and my son's father is in prison, which he's not, for domestic violence that happened in August. I don't have family to call. I don't have anyone to stay with. If I did, I would not be here asking for help. Now, there was an incident, because I'm not going to, gloss over that. There was an incident after, back in August, but he wasn't locked up for that I saw at all. So, I just really wonder, and it's just pure conjecture, if she's still with him.
I bet he's right there in that place with her.
And then this is the video she made after I announced the live, which I'm used to
about a few
this.
things. Yes, I always make videos in the car. It's the only time I have to myself in between everything. I am not lazy and I am not a piece of shit because I need help after surviving domestic violence. My son, my 2-year-old, is also a survivor of physical domestic violence. So think about that when you call somebody that lazy piece of shit. Think about what they've been through. If you have a mom or a dad, grandparents, aunts, uncles, anyone, you can pick up the phone and call and say, hey, I have this bill, I can't pay it, or hey, this is an emergency. Hey, we need help, we're hurt, we're physically hurt. I don't have that. So if you do, don't judge somebody that does it because you don't know what that feels like. You have no idea what that feels like. Another thing, people see the GoFundMe that I've raised money in the GoFundMe. That GoFundMe was opened over a year ago for something separate, and then I changed the title for the domestic violence. It looks bad to just open multiple ones. I just changed the title and made it for the DV. And just because it says it has earned or raised $3,000 total does not mean that it has $3,000 total sitting in it actively to be used. It has $48. So beside the donations, you can look and see a month ago, 2 months ago, 3 months ago, 6 months ago, that goes back. So if somebody's broke, why would they not use it if it had $3,000 sitting in it? Think about it. Another thing, people are saying I'm a scammer because I'm coming on here asking for help. I can guarantee that if any one of you were in my situation, and have gone through the things that I have gone through, getting beaten on, your child getting beaten on, and going through things that bad, you would probably reach out and ask for help too. I've called all the churches, all the domestic violence centers in my area, 211, Salvation Army, Family Promise, all these things that will not help because I'm not homeless and I'm not living off the government. So when you want to call me lazy, think again. I don't get government assistance. I don't. I'm not saying there's anything bad for those that do. I am not better than that. But I don't get it. So they want me to let my house go into eviction or for me and him to be actively homeless living in the car before they step
Yeah,
in
there's
and
somebody in the comments that knows her.
reaching out for help.
Oh,
I have been
really?
to the point of
Yeah,
taking
look.
many times,
Let
many
me
times
scroll
being
back there.
suicidal
It's so hard to see
because
it
of
when I
how
got
bad
this
financially
playing.
things have gotten. I have times where I couldn't even afford to feed myself because it came down to me or him, and I chose him. So when you're calling me a piece of shit, call me a
Okay,
bad
let me
person.
get through this.
It hurts. It really hurts.
And I never called you a piece of
I have
shit.
people on here that are going as far as threatening me and harassing me that I'm having to take out no contact orders on for defamation and slander. So if you want to be added to the list, go ahead.
Well, I guess I'm on the list. Can this person take a box? Would you like a box? I'll be happy to give you one if you do know her. Like I said, we found out a lot. We found a lot of names. She's been a lot of different people. And I called you a video beggar, but I think by the time I'm done here tonight, yeah, you're a scammer. And it's not just one, I've had a lot of people say, well, show me proof. It's everything put together, right? It's the whole package. Somebody is requesting. Oh, I don't think y'all meant to, though. I mean, if you don't want to take a box, I understand. Let's see. There was the carpet. I want to show the carpet pic. Let me take this off the charger. Yeah, it's and that's the thing, Jules. Like you keep watching and listening to what they're saying, and you can hear the inconsistencies. But these video beggars, you have once you start watching them, and you decide you might want to cover them, even might. You're going to have to. You're going to have to start recording their videos because they're going to delete them. Here's a Facebook post that I thought was interesting that Bugs found. It says, somewhere along the way of raising babies and being around someone who was miserable, I lost myself completely. I had to get ready. So, that's interesting she said babies. Because we only know about the one child. I thought that was interesting. And also she had said, and I don't remember in the video, but I know she had said that she had moved out of their house and that she had gotten another place. And I do believe that that's correct, that she was on here begging. So you'll see the date on this screenshot I took from a video. This is from January of 2025. So you see that purple hued carpet? In December, she posted this. Of course, this has been deleted as well, I do believe. Purple carpet. So, I don't think you ever did move, and I do believe that she raised the money for that. Do I have a receipt on it? No, I do not. But it's just, I know that it's been months and months and months of begging and asking for money for all these things. And then to go buy a new car, like that's, to me, like, who's paying that car payment? Who's paying
And
that
if you can't pay
insurance?
your rent and your utilities, why would you want another payment?
Yeah. Like, it's just wild to me. The whole thing all put together. And like I said, we just kept finding more and more stuff. Let me prove to you that he is baby daddy. That's her. That's him. Let me make sure I don't have anything else to show. No, I think that's it. Anything else that I missed, Bugs?
Not that I can think of.
Okay. Is Jess here? Jess, are you here? Let me look through the viewers. I know she was here a minute ago. Someone paid $600 for her brakes at one point. Then it was her starter and then tires. Yeah, these video beggars love begging for car parts. Ariana did the same thing. And then I found the receipts of it being two different cars. She was begging for tires for one car, and then some kind of compressor or something for another car, which was like a Honda Civic, and the tire was on an SUV. So I don't know a lot about cars, but I can definitely tell a difference. So no, I haven't seen her resurface Sunshine. I haven't. She's been in the wind. That's what grifters do, though. They come in, make a large amount of cash, and they take off. There was a guy years ago. His name was Jalen Richards. You remember him, Bugs?
Yeah.
Yeah. Came in here, and this dude had like 3 or 4 GoFundMes, and he made like $30K or something, some crazy number. And he's gone. As soon as Penny Ferry busted him out, of course, he was Ghost Blast in. As soon as he busted him out, he was gone. Let me see if I can get her in here. Let me message her. I'll message her on Insta. We'll do a side piece about Chip real quick, if you want, so she can get in here. So Chip's lost his job again, guys. He had to quit his job. He couldn't handle it. You see his new video? I'm telling you, boy. I thought it was 2019, but Bug sent me a screenshot. He's begging back in 2018. How to GoFundMe back then. These people, man, they got, like Joesquirrel. Dude's had more GoFundMes than anybody I've ever seen. Just crazy. And gotten big amounts of money on them, too. Chip. How you say his last name? I always want to say Dracula.
Drakenfels.
You don't know who Chip is? I'll show you. Nope, she's here. Let's see if we can get you in a box, Jess. See if you can accept my request and see if you can get in a box with that account. Yeah, I'll show you who Chip is.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Hello.
So this
Hey,
is
Jess.
Chip. That's Chip. He likes to talk a lot. Yeah. There's videos of him on my accounts, and there's videos on Bug's accounts too. Yep, he's a real trip. He needs his car paid, and he needs his phone bills paid, and everything else. Okay, so I'm gonna get this sticker off the screen, and we're gonna put up a sticker for Joesquirrel. I'll show you who Joesquirrel is. I don't want that. Stickers. I'll show you who Joe is. And I'll show you Joe's GoFundMe. And you have to be sitting down, okay? Because it's a lot. Where'd it go? I clicked on it. So we're gonna let Jess speak. Jess
Yeah.
was married to Joesquirrel.
All right. Well, I don't know where to start, so I don't know if you want to start a little bit off.
Yeah, I'm gonna show you his account. So this is Joesquirrel. You might have seen some videos that I've made about him. This guy is a serious con artist. He's a scammer. And his GoFundMe, let's click on the GoFundMe. Click on it. Has made $145,000, guys, since November the 28th.
And it keeps going.
It's crazy. It's crazy. I've just found this all out myself, so it's been crazy finding it all out.
This is just on the GoFundMe. This doesn't include his pay apps, which he says, oh, it's my tip jar. Okay. I did a whole awareness law about this guy, but it was near Christmas and people were busy, and you know, we just didn't get a whole lot of traction to get it off the ground. But yeah, he did make a video talking about Jess and how they accidentally got married, which I'll let you tell the story. But Joe has addiction issues, a lot. Yes, since November the 28th, 2025, Sydney. Yes. And they still are living in hotels. They still do not have a permanent residence. And Joe was evicted from his last residence. I can show you that screenshot. I have it in my stuff. Where are you at? It must be on my other phone. Let's see if it's in the... He even has a video on it where he shows the eviction. So he got evicted because he basically quit his job. He said he had a stroke. That's a lie. He didn't have no stroke. So yeah. It's a lot. And I'll show you his scams. Let's see. I don't know what page that's on. Is it on my 2.0 account? No, it's on my main.
So I posted my very first video today. I've never done anything like any of this. So I'm new to all of this, but go ahead, take a look at it. And he posted like 10 minutes later a video about me. So it's kind of funny and interesting. So that's quite interesting.
I think he's looking at the Reddit too. I think he definitely, you know, knows that some things are up. I think he's seen some stuff that's been posted. There's been a little bit of trolling on his videos. Yeah, I'm sure he knows that awareness is being brought to him. He certainly does, and he needs it.
Definitely.
I can't find my video. Oh, there it is. There it is. So,
no, we've been divorced for almost 10 years, and it was crazy, absolutely crazy, finding all this information about him because I've only found bits and pieces. And yes.
7 Action News reporter Tara Edwards has the very latest from Westland. It's It's not clear how the fire started just yet, but we're told that maintenance workers were working on the top floor when it happened. Everyone is okay, but the fire spread quickly.
It's depressing because I have pictures in there of my son that I lost 9 years ago that I'll never get back. It's real upsetting.
Please don't scroll. This is a funny, not funny story. It's funny in one way.
So, how much money do you think he got for the fire?
I think it was like $15,000, maybe. I don't know. It was a long time ago. But it was a lot of money. And it's just the way he talks about me is not at all the way it happened at all. And his next video that he posts was just crazy. It's all lies. It's very frustrating.
Yeah. Well, that's why I'm glad you're here. I want you to tell your story in your words. And I'm going to preface this by telling you that Jess has her story. I'm going to give her my platform to tell her story. I know a lot about Joe because me and Bugs have went down these rabbit holes, and this is a lot. This guy has routinely got large sums of cash.
Not funny in the other way, but maybe the video, it helps it to go further. It helps my family. But this is about the time I accidentally got married. Yeah, I accidentally got married. Just like I accidentally raised $10,000 for Canada. I don't know. But so what had happened is one day I was at work and I get a phone call. And it was the apartment manager. And she asked if anybody was home. And I said, no. She said, well,
you need to show my video that has the true story along with it.
They went in and got my dog and got the dog out. And she said, it's not that severe, though. It's contained to just the one end of the building. And I'm like, okay, cool. So I, being all nonchalant, I go up to my favorite watering hole and order some food. And, my daughter was at cheerleading practice, so it was no big deal. And I thought that would be the end of the story. They put the fire out at the other end of the building. No, it was the windiest day of the year in Michigan. It was so windy that the entire building ended up burning down from the outside in. So I was on the news. A reporter was interviewing me, and my ex-girlfriend saw me. We broke it off, and she saw me, and she called me. And, I had all this insurance money the next day. The adjuster came out and wrote me 2 big fat checks, and I deposited them. And she's like, you really could use a vacation. I'm like, yeah, you know what? I haven't had a vacation in years. So we go to Key West. And let me tell you, they say what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Well, what happens in Key West doesn't stay in Key West. We ended up partying too much and somehow got married.
Okay, you should pause it. Yeah, you need to go watch my video now because I put the true captions along with it because finding this story was just infuriating to see because it's nothing but lies. It's absolutely crazy, but go on.
So this is when he raised money for Canada. Oh, I hate it when it does that.
Yeah, which he claims he raised $10,000, but it was only $4,000. Oh, and he took some of it.
Yeah, that's what I figured. These are news articles.
I'm trying to lighten the mood with my situation, but I want to tell you about the time I accidentally raised $10,000 for Canada. Yeah, for Canada. Well, so here's the story. I lived in a little town called Marysville, and it was on the St. Clair River. And on the other side was Canada. So I could look out my window and see Canada. And every year they have this thing called Port Huron.
Okay. So Sydney is asking you a question. And I asked her this question because I thought the same thing, Sydney. Was the fire accidental?
I mean, yeah, there was a freak accident. They didn't know what was going on. It was very, very strange back then. And the fact that you were asking me questions about it 10 years later was like, whoa, that's really weird that she thought it was weird too. Because I went back in my Facebook and I actually had made a post about it, about how, wow, I took the day off of work to help Joe because he had a fire. And of course he'd do it for me, so I'd do it for him. It's just really weird. He helped me fix my heat. And then he had a fire. Weird. And it was like verbatim, just like that. And it was just like so weird that that's what I posted way back then. Because we were a thing back then. And just the fact that he claims that, oh, she took advantage of me because of a large payout is absolutely not the truth. He was at my house the night before. He left my house. He went home to go let the dog out. And then a few hours later, he called me telling me that there was a giant fire, absolutely distraught. So I told him, of course, you can come stay with me. So he was coming to stay with me and it was all great. And then, yeah, I convinced him to go take a vacation and it was great. It's nothing like he says. So it's just crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, I just wonder. Can't even prove it. I just wonder.
Get in the river on floaties, and they float down all the way to the beach in Marysville. Why people do this, I don't know, because St. Clair River is, I wouldn't swim in it. The current is terrible. So what had happened during that float down is a bunch of people, because of the wind, got blown over to Canada, right? So they were stuck over there, and the city of Sarnia had to figure out how to get them back over the border. And it was a big nightmare of a mess for Canada, because they had all these people, all these Americans over there, and they had to get them back across the Blue Water Bridge and back into the United States. So it was all over the news. And back in that time, I liked my Coors, and I was sitting on the toilet doing my business, and out of sarcasm, I made a GoFundMe called "How's You Going, eh?" And it kind of went a little bit viral, to the point where I was on the morning show for our most popular morning show people, David Chuck the Freak. I had the New York Times calling me and interviewing me. I had Fox News interviewing me, CNN. I don't know how all this happened. My mind was blown. So next thing you know, I hit the cap in GoFundMe, and I was talking to the Mayor Bradley of Sarnia at the time. He was the mayor, and I had to figure out how to get all this money to Canada. So I ended up just getting a cashier's check and FedExing it international to the mayor, and so that they could get reimbursed for the $10,000 it cost them to get everybody back home. Now, I don't know how this blew up into a thing. And sometimes, it's like we do things in life, and we have little expectation of how big of an impact it's going to have. And it was a really weird time to go through that. I mean, I can look my name up and find myself still in articles and interviews over this whole scenario. So, yeah. So I accidentally raised $10,000 for Canada. If you're watching me for the first time, I encourage you to follow. My family and I are homeless, and due to a medical condition I have, and
So then, during the pandemic and after the pandemic, he had a YouTube channel. He had a Patreon. He had a private Facebook group. Yeah, this was a whole nother scam that he did. And you can go to this YouTube. It's all kind of videos on there. He talks about all different kind of things on there. And then that was the GoFundMe when I made the video, which now the GoFundMe's at 145K. At one point, he was getting like $1,000 to $5,000 a day on that GoFundMe, which is just crazy. Let me get back on another account so it doesn't echo. So then, and let me see if I have that screenshot on this phone. So then, someone on the Reddit posted another GoFundMe that he had. He had another GoFundMe. No, that's the wife. That's the current wife, Amy. There's 3 wives. Jess is the second wife. So he has a daughter with the first wife. He has a son with you. And he has 2 boys with Amy.
Yep.
And he did have a son that passed away.
Yep.
And then you had a set of twins that you, unfortunately, I'm so sorry that you lost.
Thank you. It was very unfortunate.
I bet. It's a pain that I cannot ever imagine losing a child.
It was a lot.
Especially 2. Yeah. My heart goes out to you.
That's what he fails to mention. He says that the marriage was an accident, but he fails to mention that, 9 months later we had our son that, he doesn't mention. He's 10 now. And no, he does not pay child support for. And that along the way we lost twins as well. And it was very traumatic and horrible. And, we went through some stuff. So just for him to brush it all off and not even mention his 10-year-old son, who he severely traumatized along the way, is just absolutely crazy and upsetting.
Oh. Do you know what that GoFundMe, how much he raised on that?
Well, he keeps saying it was $10,000. $10,000 was what it cost Canada and what the goal was.
No,
only
I'm
raised
talking about on the legal one.
Which one?
The one that he was raising legal funds when he ran you over?
Oh, that one? Yeah, I have no idea. I don't remember much of that. I tried to not pay attention to any of that because it was all very, again, traumatic. Because, for anyone that doesn't know, he ran me over when our son was a year old, leaving me in the road. He ran over my leg and my arm, leaving me in the road. I had to have 6 surgeries. It took me years to learn how to walk again. And it was absolutely horrible. So he also makes a video about how he was found not guilty and almost was in jail, or I don't know, was risking 14 years in jail, but God saved him or something like that. And again, it's nothing but lies. And yeah, he was found not guilty because they couldn't prove the intent part behind it. And it was just, there was too much reasonable doubt. And it sucked. And then after that, he, you know, God went all God crazy and thought he was on top of the world and completely abused the system from there and completely ruined her life and continues to do so. 10 years later, it's still traumatic. And we have court next week and it's traumatic and it's all a lot. It's crazy.
What do you have court for? Tell them what you have court for.
We have court next week for child support because, you know, he had a warrant out for him because, well, I didn't even go for child support until a couple of years ago because we just wanted nothing to do with him and just lots of crazy drama, but wanted nothing to do with him and finally had to. And he only made a few months worth of small payments because he told the friend of the court he was claiming disability ever since 2023, telling them that he had a neck injury and was off a disability and couldn't work. So they calculated it for the minimum payment, minimum wage, and minimum this and minimum that, and kept asking for documents and proof and this and that. And he kept giving excuses and not giving it. And then the friend of the court found out that he was actually making like $45 an hour with the union pipe fitters. And so they tripled it. And immediately then he stopped paying. That was in September. He stopped paying, quit his job so they could stop taking it out of his paycheck, which is what the friend of the court told me. So everything he's saying is a complete lie. And I have proof through the courts, both with his eviction. You know, it was being filed for non-payment for eviction in September, not, you know, disability, or I have no idea. But he's been claiming nothing but lies ever since. He finally made a small payment in December to get rid of the warrant, but has not made a payment since. And so now we have court next week. We will see if he shows up. I highly doubt he will. He's supposed to bring medical documents, and I don't see any reason why he wouldn't. So we will see.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's that.
Oh, Lordy. So he's gotten all this money on this GoFundMe, but he hasn't bothered to pay you back, to pay you any child support. I mean, he's
correct. I mean, he made one payment, the smallest minimum payment that you could to get out of the warrant forgiveness program, and he was supposed to make a payment in a month, and it's been well over a month. So we shall see next week.
Let me ask you something. He claims that he has a pension sitting there waiting for him. Is that true?
I'm sure. I mean, he had a union job. They were taking care of him. He was making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. I mean, they protected him. I mean, I sued him and his company because, you know, he was found not guilty. So I ended up hiring Jeffrey Feiger Law. Thought I was fancy for that, but and sued him and his company because it was his work vehicle that ran me over. And, you know, the union completely backed him and he kept his job there. And, you know, yeah. Yeah.
So why did Joe go to Alabama?
Okay. So let's see. We had the 5 years of absolute hell. And then in 2021, we finally started co-parenting a little tiny bit. He gave me back custody. That's a whole nother story. It was all, it was crazy story, but he ended up going to Alabama. He called me, and it was like April 2021. He called me all of a sudden telling me that he had to leave and go to Alabama with his kids because his wife beat him up and knocked out his teeth and he had to get away from her and this whole crazy story. So I was like, yeah, I get it. And he told me he would send me money and blah, blah, blah. And then cut to a couple of months later, August was my son's birthday. He called my son up and told him that he would send him a birthday present, and it never came. And watching my son check that mailbox every single day for weeks was absolutely heartbreaking. And then watching him stop was even more heartbreaking. And ever since that, his sixth birthday, it's ruined his birthday ever since, because he's always asked, I wonder if my dad will send me a birthday present this year. And he never does. And gosh darn it, I hate that man every year. Yeah. So that was the last time we heard from him, was my son's sixth birthday, August. 2021, and he left to Alabama, and evidently she met up with him and she lived down there, and they rekindled and lived down there for years. And that's all I knew. I had found there were a couple of mugshots of theirs while they lived down there, but other than that, I had no idea where they were up until like a year ago. I finally, through the friend of the court stuff, heard that he came back to Michigan. So it was all news to me. I had no idea anything. So
well, he came back to Michigan after he got charged with burglary.
Yeah, what happened with that? All I saw was like the arrest records. What happened more with that?
I don't know. I can't find an active warrant. But some states, and Bose can tell you this, some states it's easy to find things like that, and some states it is hard.
Right.
Yeah, I couldn't find what he got arrested for exactly. I looked and looked.
And we know that she was arrested down there, and she's also been arrested in Michigan for hug charges. And apparently she has a warrant for herself right now for not going to court.
Which is just crazy.
I worry about those children. I really do.
Yeah.
Children raised in active addictions, they suffer. So you want me to play your video?
Sure, if you would like. I mean, it's all over. It's my very first time, so, you might need to pause it to read it.
Well, we all had a first time, honey.
Engage with the video. It helps it to go further. It helps my family. But this is about the time I accidentally got married. Yeah, I accidentally got married. Just like I accidentally raised $10,000 for Canada. I don't know. But so what had happened is, one day I was at work and I get a phone call, and it was the
Nope.
like I accidentally raised $10,000 for Canada. I don't know.
So it was around 10,000. It was not 10,000. It was around 4,000, and he took out extra fees. We were married at the time. Why does it do that?
So what happened is, one day I was at work and
Joe and I met in 2013. He had a daughter who was 12, and I had a 12-year-old daughter and a 6-year-old daughter. We all moved in together almost immediately.
a phone call, and it was the apartment manager, and she asked if anybody was home, and I said,
We broke up a few months later due to drinking and chaos. He begged for a second chance.
no. And she said, well, there's a fire. And I said, okay. I said, my dog's inside.
We started talking again. I called him to help me fix my furnace, and he stayed up the night before the fire.
So they went in and got my dog and got the dog out. And
He
she
went
said,
home
"It's
in the
not that
morning
severe,
to let the
though.
dog
It's
out. He
just
called
one
me
in the building."
immediately.
And I'm like, okay, cool. So
I told him he could stay with us.
nonchalant, just I go up to my favorite watering hole and order some food.
The
and
bar.
my daughter was at cheerleading practice, so it was no big deal. And I thought that would be the end of the story. They put the fire out at the other end of the building. No, it was the windiest day of the year in Michigan. It was so windy that the entire building, ended up burning down from the outside in. So I was on the news. A reporter was interviewing me, and my ex-girlfriend saw me. We broke it off, and she saw me, and she called me.
Not true. He was going to see if he could salvage anything before coming to stay at my house.
I had all this insurance money the next day. The adjuster came out and wrote me 2 big fat checks, and I deposited them, and she's like, you really could use a vacation. I'm like, yeah, you know what? I haven't had a vacation in years. So we go to Key West, and let me tell you, they say what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Well, what happens in Key West doesn't stay in Key West.
He skipped the part where we usually said, but we got engaged on the plane. So he actually asked you on the plane.
Yeah, it was a big, huge production. He passed a note to the stewardess who thought he was hijacking the plane when he said, pass this to the pilot, but it was actually a note for him to get on. No, it was a cute story. It was a note for him to get on the intercom so that he could propose to me. So it was funny, but eventually the pilot gets on the intercom and he gets up and he proposes to me and everybody claps and we get complimentary champagne and it was funny and cute. And then we were talking about it in the bar and the guy behind the bar happened to say that he was ordained. So he said to come back in a few hours and we came back and it was absolutely beautiful and we had so much fun and it was actually a lot of fun. So it's really upsetting to hear him talk like this about that. But yeah, go on.
And we left married with our son, whom we had 9 months later.
We ended up partying too much and somehow got married. I have a vague memory of it. We went to the city hall in Key West and got a marriage license and went back to the pub where we were hanging out. And the manager was ordained and they threw a big wedding for us. And I woke up in the morning to champagne bottles, rose petals, and all kinds of stuff. And I was like, oh my gosh, what did I do? I got married. I couldn't believe it. I am that stupid. I'm that stupid person. This is why I abstain, because I don't make good decisions in those situations. And so that's the time that I accidentally got married. And I've regretted it.
So yeah, I mean, I can't believe he ran over you.
Yeah, it was, life changing. I'm still dealing with the injuries today. I have procedures next week. I have injections I have to get. I have a whole bunch of things I have to do, and it's horrible. It's horrible. My knees give out every single day, and I've got scars, and it's absolutely upsetting for him to claim that he's disabled and claim how much his life has changed and how sad he is, and he's got kids to take care of, when he did not care at all about his oldest son and the damage that he did. And it's very upsetting.
Because she was unhinged.
So let's go to your video, Joe. Let's play that. I haven't watched it yet.
All right, TikTok. Hey, don't scroll, folks.
So this is a new
Helps my
video
family
that he
out with
made.
monetization, or however you say that word. But a lot of people have been asking about my backstory, and well, I'm 50. And I'm an old dude. I had a stroke late last year and ended up in the hospital, lost my job while I was in there. And my family and I, we were evicted. We're still in a hotel, but we found housing. We're just waiting on that. But anyway.
Now, he's been claiming that for
married,
months, so he's got housing coming.
A couple times. I put it that way. I was with my first wife 18 years, and we had a son, and he unfortunately had open heart surgery.
Nookie.
He was taken off support, and we lost him. I try to phrase my words around the algorithm so it doesn't get all goofed up and they don't ban me. But anyway, and then I was single a while, and I had a girlfriend, and then we were on and off, and we just decided it's done. Okay, it's done. It's over with. And I moved to an apartment. This apartment building, it caught on fire. I don't know, maintenance workers were doing something, and the building, it was the windiest day of the year. The building literally burned down from the outside in. So, I ended up on the news. I was being interviewed because it was a big deal. There were 3 cities there putting out this fire.
He loves attention.
I lost everything.
He loves
I was the only one that had insurance. So
Yeah.
she sees me on the news, and she calls me, and I don't know, maybe she knew I had insurance. I don't know if she did or if she didn't, but
This is so not true.
You see him looking
took
up.
advantage
That's
of
a
it.
clear sign of
He
He
lying.
pauses all the time when he lies, and it's so obvious.
And I said,
Sure
you know
does.
what? I haven't had a vacation in years. And so we go to
Right.
Key West.
Cleavage.
We get on a plane. We fly to Miami. We drive to Key West. And I accidentally got married. Yeah. Yeah, I accidentally got married. I must be the dumbest person alive, because this woman tried to put me in prison She tried to put
Oh
me in
my
prison.
God.
And I'll tell that story one day. But I essentially had a jury trial and was acquitted. I don't have a criminal record. I've never done anything bad in my life.
Bullshit!
She just was unhinged. So,
dude,
anyway,
I will post you. I will post your
count that
mugshots,
as
your
a
charges,
marriage.
everything. Don't lie.
Right.
You know, I'm
Good Lord.
with my wife now, Amy, and she's an amazing person. We have 2 amazing little boys. Ezra, he's headstrong like a bull, and Ansel, he's autistic. He's the silent genius. And yeah, we've just been camped out in a hotel.
But she just broke your thumb,
to get into some
and she gave
housing.
you a black eye.
And a lot of people have been asking
Okay.
questions. I can't respond to all the messages
But Amy's
and all the
great.
comments. I just can't do it. You know, I got a family, and I got to
Yeah,
take care of them
she's on the
first.
GoFundMe, which
But,
I don't really think that's her.
So
She knocked
you know,
his teeth out
a
too.
lot
Oh
of
my
people
God.
been kind of giving me crap.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry.
The current warrant, Mandy.
You know,
correct.
my wife started to go fund me. The link's in my bio. We haven't taken a penny out. I've been living on American Express.
Now that's a
And,
bold-faced lie right there.
He
You
has
know,
no credit. He has
how we've been
bankruptcies,
getting by.
evictions.
That's how we've been getting
Evictions,
by.
the whole nine.
So, you know, if you want to help a family out, go ahead. Check my bio. There are ways for a little bit of support.
He's such a liar.
If not,
There's
that's
no
fine.
way that you can sit here.
But
And
what
they're not
my
staying. They're not staying in motels, guys. They're not staying in like anything that's cheap. Okay, they're staying like in something that's got a kitchen and everything else. Yeah, he's living off the GoFundMe money, and gosh knows what he's gotten on his pay apps. You know, his tip jar, he calls it. I mean, it's insane for anybody to think that. They went out and bought a car, $23,000, and bought a car. Like, this dude is wild. Like, these
He
video
brags about it.
yeah, these video beggars I've been finding, like, I told Bugs, I said, boy, I sure know how to pick them.
We out about a brand new car, but we can't pay child support.
story.
Yeah, he can't pay child support.
Everybody has experiences in life that
It's a regular motel.
that other people can
Looks
either
pretty nice,
relate
the
to,
pictures I saw.
but they haven't been through. And you know, life is a crazy ride. Believe in God, trust in God, pray above all things, and love your God. If you're not a praying person, I encourage you to just pray, because I've prayed through this whole experience, and I just, my mind is blown
Joesquirrel,
how
Becca,
good
he's a
God
video
is,
beggar.
how faithful, how much he loves his children.
He's really a scammer,
And
but
I would encourage you to give it a try. So God love you.
Oh my God, he loves hearing
I
himself
haven't
talk.
been able to be on with everything we got going on. I'm sorry. After my stroke, I struggled with my speech.
Right.
My
no, we don't want to say that.
greatest,
No,
but
we don't want
it is
that.
what it is.
We can't do that in here.
But life is still good. There's still life left in me. And
I have to
give thanks
unmute
to
you in
God
a
for
minute.
that. So
I'm sorry.
love one another, people.
Can't put any
Kind to one
locations
another
or
out
anything
there.
in the chat,
And
guys.
just love one another.
Can't do that.
God bless you. Have a great night, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Hey, don't.
Yeah, he loves to hear himself talk. But yeah, guys, you can't put locations or where they're staying or anything like that in the chat. You know, he's already claimed that he's been swatted and stuff like that. So, we can't do that. Let me see if you're still here and I'll unmute you. But, yeah. Okay, you're unmuted, but yeah, we can't do that. Because he'll just use that to get more money, right? He's done it before. He said he got swatted and all this stuff, and that people called about the kids, and I do worry about those kids, because if you watch his videos, he makes videos when he's high. He's intoxicated, or he's high, or he's both.
I'm glad you can see it too, because it's very obvious to me, and
yeah.
I don't know how others don't see it.
And then honey, I bartended for many, many, many years. It doesn't take a genius to know it. Let's see if I have that picture with his watch. Well, here's a picture. So here's Joe's mugshot. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, you're looking pretty rough there, dude. Okay, there's Amy. Yeah, these aren't good people. But Joe knows how to tell a story. He does, and it's the same thing over and over again.
Yep. Yep. He is a very good people person, and that was the difference between us. Was the what? The intro I was the introvert and he was the extrovert, and he completely used that to his advantage, and I completely shut up and he completely shouted from the roof, and it sucked. And it still does.
Yeah, but you're here now. Like I said, you can tell your story. You can scream it from the rooftops. I'll let you tell it anytime you want because I don't like it. I have my own experience with someone that did so much damage in my life, and so many people protected him, and so many people acted like things were my fault, but they weren't. Um, so here you see this video he made. Look at this watch, guys. That's not a cheap watch. And then and I can't zoom in enough on the bottom, but do y'all see what I see on his arm? Do you see the scarring? Do you see?
Wow.
Yep, exactly, Debbie. Exactly. You got sloppy in that one, Joe. Yep, exactly what that is. So that's where people's money's going to, and that's on the Reddit. There's a Reddit page, Joesquirrel Snark. If you haven't joined that Reddit, there's a ton of information on there, and we'll keep posting, and we're gonna keep watching. We're not going anywhere. Anything else you wanted me to show, Jess?
And I mean, there's so much, but we'll get into that another time. I'm still finding so much, and it's all so much.
It is. It's a lot. I mean, me and her, I spent hours. Mm. Anybody want to come up and ask any questions?
Yeah, I'll just mention us as well, just throw that out there, that he met Amy the same week that he ran me over. He met her. He went to AA like the next day to prove that he was, on the up and up, and met her the same week. And she was showing up to all of the trial, the felony stuff there. She was showing up, and then by our divorce trial, she was pregnant. And by a few years later, they had another kid. And it's just absolutely amazing that all of that and them and just all of it. It's just all very upsetting.
Yeah, I think narcissists tend to move on rather quickly.
Yep.
Hey, Sydney, how are you tonight? Oh, it's taking a minute for her to load. Can you hear
Hey,
it?
can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hey, everybody. Hey, Jess.
Hello.
I tell you what, this is almost like a tale of two cities we had tonight. The first story, I had a lot of questions about DV, and in the second story, I I mean, my heart goes out to you. I can't even
Thank you.
imagine.
Appreciate it.
The only thing I come close to is I remember falling down a driveway and an ex-boyfriend didn't call an ambulance and I had to have all his neighbors call an ambulance, but he didn't try to run me over. But at that same token, we're really rooting for you on this case next week. And
Thank you.
I, I always say, I always wish the justice system was fair, but I do believe in a higher power for justice, and that's God. And let me tell you, He has a way of bringing justice that I can't even imagine. So, I'm thinking about you and your child, and I hope everything works out.
Thank you. I appreciate you all. Appreciate you listening. Appreciate you guys being there when I did a search, and the first thing popped up was you guys and all of it, and it was very, very nice to finally have people like on my side saying the same thing that I've been saying for years and that nobody would listen to me about. So thank you guys for all putting this out there. Thank you for listening. Thank you for appreciating, I appreciate you guys listening, and thank you. It means a lot to me and my son. It means a lot to both of us. So thank you guys.
Yeah, I was amazed when you found us. I was like, oh my gosh, I finally have somebody.
You guys were all talking about me and like things about me. Like, what? Huh? You guys knew who I was before I did. It was crazy.
We know a lot. But and the thing about it is that these people, they tell us a lot. They give us, and he dropped so much that, it didn't take a rocket scientist. I don't know. Some people say, well, you're better than the FBI. It's just we connect dots and we go down these rabbit holes. And, I went to his YouTube and I started listening to stuff he was saying on there and using God and this paranormal stuff. Like, it was crazy. And I just kept finding more. And then Bugs was finding stuff. And she's sending me stuff. And I'm sending her stuff. And, it's just like, this dude's getting all these large sums of amount of money. And I think you had said at one point you had lived in Florida and he had gotten a sign-on bonus for a company and then he just quit.
Yeah. That was like $10,000. And
yeah,
it's
money on top of money. It's like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
I'd probably say this case right now, I call them cases to me. This one is probably the most evil one I've heard about. I mean, I think we have different degrees. I mean, I think they all have their negatives, but this is probably the most evil. When you're running over somebody and, I mean, that's just insane.
Well, it wasn't just what he did to me. It was what he did to my son, because it was, at first I was given sole custody. It was all great. And it was supposed to be supervised visits until he could work his way up to overnights, but he ended up not making it to that, going months without seeing him. And then my son was 3 years old, told me some very upsetting things that I had to report. And it was very upsetting stuff. I reported it, and instead of it being taken seriously, because I was, very distraught at this news and was acting all over the place in the hospital. And
you don't have to speak on all that. It
was a lot.
Yeah,
it was a lot. And basically, he used it against me, got my son taken away from me, even though I had all the proof saying that I was a good mom. I did everything right. I had my therapist, my son's therapist, and a psychiatrist saying that I was a good mom. Somehow he got custody reversed, got my son taken away. So my son went from not seeing his father for months and having to, witness everything with me healing and everything, and had to go live with his new wife and his new 2 kids, as he just had a new baby at the time. So he had to go live with him all of a sudden, and it was absolutely traumatic. And I ended up filing an appeal, spending hundreds of thousands of dollars in court fees with all kinds of different things. And I lost the appeal. It's very upsetting. And he ended up giving me my son right back after I forgave him for $45,000, because there was a judgment out. So I signed over that. He gave me back my son. It was like,
You
the
got to do
loving.
what you got to do. You know what I'm saying?
That was crazy, but
I mean,
yeah, it was all about money to him. 4 months later, he completely left my son. So he put my son through absolute hell for all of that time, and it was just absolutely crazy. He put him through hell for money, just nothing, and just to see him get away with it and then abandon him and make up all these lies and act like he's the victim when his son is the true victim here. And it is upsetting when he doesn't even mention him, and he talks about how he's a great father, trying to put food on his kids in his kids' bellies, and he doesn't give a dang about me and his son and the fact that he permanently disabled me and won't just simply pay child support. And it's just ridiculous. Ah.
and I'm sure the amount's very minimal. I mean, for what kids really need.
Really, it's really not all that much. I mean, it's like $6,000 that he owes, which is really not that much. Because, like I said, I only went over after him like a year ago because we didn't want him in our life.
Yeah.
So, and it was like I said, it was ordered to be the state minimum for a very long time until we could prove that he had a job. He was lying about it. He quits jobs, and it's just ridiculous. Ridiculous.
Does Amy ever work?
I have no idea anything about her or her work history or anything
Okay.
about her.
So, when you go to court, are you going to show the proof that he's gotten all this money on GoFundMe?
Oh yeah. I've got it all. I'm showing it all.
I'm sure the reason that the GoFundMe is in her name is because of these, he owes us back child support.
I'm sure, but they look at everything. They took into consideration that, okay, you took a lesser paying job. Well, you quit. You quit this job because you wanted to get out of child support, basically, because they called around. They asked around why he was, did he quit for medical stuff or did he quit? Oh, no, he quit, so everything that he's saying is a complete lie. And
oh, I knew. I mean, 6 days after he was released from the hospital, he made a video of him walking out in nature. I mean, I knew it. So you do this for a long period of time, and you just know. You just know they're lying. You just know.
Well, there's just so many inconsistencies. I mean, I only knew my husband for 90 days, but we didn't get married by accident. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it was very well thought of, very short compared to probably what normal people get married. But yeah, I really love the accident. Although he says accidents a lot, like accidentally this,
Well,
accident this,
I think there's so much that he doesn't want people to know about Jess and what's really taking place that it's just better just to, deflect and to, it's just an afterthought that I got married to somebody. Like,
yeah.
When that's a serious decision, it's like having a baby, that's pretty serious life-changing thing that you're going to do, the same thing with getting married. But, and you can tell that, like I said, Joe gets elevated when he makes these videos. And then, like, at the height, Joe was making, like, I don't know, 4 or 6 videos a day. Would you say, Bugs?
Yeah, he was making quite a few videos there for a while.
Mm-hmm. And now he's kind of slowed down a little bit. But every time he comes on, you can tell that he's elevated. I can tell that he's elevated because I know what he's like when he's not elevated. And I know the difference. So, it's like, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure it out. Like, say, if you go to that old YouTube, you'll see that, when he does tarot readings and stuff, he's very coherent. His speech isn't slurred or anything like that. Of course, he blames it on the stroke, but I don't believe that. I don't believe there was ever a stroke. Now, do I believe that he's been hospitalized? Yes. Jess can even tell you that he's been hospitalized before.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's even talked about attempts to unalive himself.
Yep.
Yeah.
I didn't want to change the subject, but I know somebody else may want to come up in the box. I only wanted to say 2 comments, and it dealt with Taylor, the first case that we talked about tonight.
Yes.
First off, thank y'all for doing the live tonight. I know y'all spent a lot of time doing this, so thank you, Skim Opera, thank you, Bugs, and thank you, Jess, for being here, and of course, all the mods. First off, if you've ever experienced DV, my heart goes out to you. And
I don't take that lightly. I know Scam Opera doesn't. I know we all don't take it lightly. Okay.
No, I mean, I actually came to you and said, because it's a hard thing for me to talk about, and it's hard for me to it's hard for me to say that you're using that to take advantage, because people will come at you. They'll be like, "Oh my gosh, you're calling out a DV victim," but there's too many inconsistencies in everything that she has said, and he is not currently locked up anywhere that Bugs can find, and I can find it. And if Bugs can't find it, it's not there, because Bugs is amazing, okay?
Yeah.
Bugs does a lot of background work, okay? A ton, okay? She doesn't get enough credit on this app for what she does, but she is amazing.
No, I totally agree. And what I was going to say just briefly was I noticed Taylor used the term safe house a lot. Like, I'm going to go to the safe house. I don't know if anybody in here has ever been to a safe house, but in my career, I was actually, they wanted me to take over a safe house. I have a very interesting careers. And let me tell you, when I tell you, and I may be directionally challenged, I'll give you that. But when I tell you that the safe house, even in my podunk area, was like a Batman cave, and to this day, I still don't know where it's at, because I was dropped off somewhere, I had to go somewhere, blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very interesting to me when I hear people interchange safe house with where they're living, because I can assure you that if it's truly a safe house, it's not accessible unless you're in there. And it's not, I mean, there would be no posting of stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
And if there is an arrangement made with money, usually it's free. If there is an arrangement with money, it's usually put in an account for them, so that when they do get out and it's safe to leave and things have been processed. I mean, and I know every place is different. I know there's budget cuts, yada yada, but I mean, it was like, I was just kind of like, at first I was like, where am I going? Because, you hear about it, but when you go to one, and I'm glad it is. I wish we had them for men too, because, at this particular safe house, it was just for women and children, depending on age and stuff like that. And so what I'm saying is that to kind of use that so loosely, that's not really cool to me. Okay. Also, too, if you're that fearful, I can assure you that, especially when you're in a case that's very active. I'm not saying that in DV cases you may not get to that point, but especially when somebody may be in jail and you're saying 6 months, so theoretically he would be out this month. I mean, she said in the video, I'm not scared. Well, if you're not scared, then every other word is DV, 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 and I'm very sympathetic to that. Although two things can be true. You could be a DV victim, and you could also be a scammer. Okay. However, a lot of things didn't make sense, and the rent, one minute it's $1,500, the next minute it's $2,000. Childcare. I mean, and the last thing I want to kind of point out, because there was a lot of inconsistencies on her part, was I'm going to assume her pickups is Dethadone, perhaps.
Mm-hmm.
I'm using different words. And I'm just going to say this from HR perspectives in my careers. And I know some laws are changing with regard to like broccoli and stuff. But when you're using heavy machinery, whether it's welding and you're doing forklift and driving, I'm not saying there's not going to be exceptions. But I can tell you from a workman's comp perspective, and I don't speak for all businesses, okay? People tend to get a little nervous in terms of that at companies. I'm not saying that it couldn't be true. I'm just saying that it's, not every state has caught up with different things. And also, too, many times when people are on Dethadone, like right now, some people, depending on where you're at, like in my state, they see it as a way for you to eventually become drug free. In some states, they may see it as that's your long-term recovery. Okay. I can't speak for all states, but what I do know is when you're working on heavy machinery and equipment and stuff, I mean, I'm just saying I find that interesting. And you don't have any family, even though we saw them in the restaurant. So I guess they all came from the dead. I don't know. But they all rose from the dead. So now you have family, but who's watching your kid, as y'all pointed out? You're working two jobs, so somebody's watching a child, or you're not actually working and the child's with you. Because in every video, the child's with you, whether at night or whether we see in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Now, so I find that very strange. But a lot of inconsistencies, especially with the DV part, because many of those services, I understand when people leave and they go leave with their family, or they'll do their savings accounts and stuff like that. But if you're actually in a safe house, they're not looking at money, they're looking at your safety usually. And I've never heard of people having to pay normally. Otherwise, who would go?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And then it's like I'm pulling out of my driveway, like you could see the background. Now, obviously, I blurred it out. You can go watch the video. I'm sure it's still up. I just checked. But you can see the background. Like that's not a safe house. Like it's just so many things.
They're normally like. And I know everybody's different, but they're normally like, I call them like Batman caves. You don't even know you have one in the area, and the whole purpose is to keep you protected.
Right, anonymity like is a big thing. Like, and me when I left my ex-husband, and it was I was on high alert. Like, what I'm saying, it was a very volatile situation when I left. I scrubbed my whole social media. Like, I shut everything down, and my lawyer told me to do that as well. And so I listened to his advice, and I did. I shut everything down, and I kind of went into ghost mode as far as being anywhere. Like, I was in survival mode.
Absolutely. Especially with him being theoretically, if August, because that was the big month that it happened, and let's say that 6 months later, if you know they're going to be getting out, you would be fearful of that, especially if it's something, because I'm going to be honest with you. Let's look at Jess's case for a moment, okay? I consider running over somebody, that's pretty severe, okay? In fact, I probably have other choice words for it, but I'll refrain. But to get actually domestic violence cases prosecuted, there has to be proof. So I'd be a little bit concerned, and I wouldn't be having myself and the person's child on a social media every which way but loose on there, because they'll even tell you don't antagonize your aggressor. It's just, especially because they're going to be wanting to seek you out theoretically.
Yeah.
So but I like what Chief Slapaho said. With the plasma, you can't give plasma and that stuff. Yeah, in my particular state, they ask everything, and they're pretty strict. Some states may be less lenient, but yeah, I would be very surprised about that.
Yeah,
but that's all I wanted
to ask, because she's never mentioned that before, to my recollection, and that's like, and now that that's lies being held, it's like you're just adding more on top of more. And obviously she knew.
Yeah.
Obviously she was alerted to my video. I didn't tag her in the first video. The second video, when she said, oh yeah, I'm getting no contact orders on people for slander and defamation. Well, yeah, I tagged her because, like, girl, let's go.
Yeah. Yeah. You've shown everything, and it's honestly, there were so many slip ups. We're not really the people that have to really worry, and that's the thing. You had your time stamps and everything, but so it's interesting.
See, that's why I make the videos, because I want to show you the proof, and that's why I load them the way I did to my YouTube. So, like, everything's there. It's got the date on there. I'm going to put them all on public. It's probably going to piss her off. I really don't care. There are so many of these people doing this on here. Like, I got video beggars stacked up like firewood, guys. I'm serious. Like, I could do one of these or not, but you can't, because you have to verify everything. And, and then people start coming to you because they know that you're, that you post a video, and then more and more stuff floods in. And even up till, because I work today, of course. Then I had to go run errands. Then I had to go to the grocery store because they're calling for more snow. Place was an absolute zoo. It was like supermarket sweep on bad noise. Like, it was crazy. get home trying to get everything put away and not fall and bust my butt because everything here on the ground that hasn't melted is a solid sheet of ice. So it's like roller skating on shoes. And
Yeah,
hurry up. But the
it's been
whole
crazy.
time, up till the last minute of this live, me and Bugs were still talking and still sending stuff to each other and finding more and more and more. Like, this girl's had so many Instagrams and Facebook pages is unreal. And all of them have a different name.
I bet. And also too, I think what really kind of bothers me as somebody who has worked with DV victims and raised money for DV victims in the past, I'm a little bit concerned because don't get me wrong, I don't want anybody to not tell their story. I want to make that very clear. But I think you have to be very careful when you see people that are online and asking for money and they say that this just happened. I mean, you got to think about the safety of people in DV situations. Like, I would not want them to put themselves at risk and start posting TikToks. I mean, again, I want to hear the story, but I'm more concerned about their safety, especially if they have somebody who is going to be released from jail and he's in there because of DV, according, allegedly. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
that's kind of like, especially
Yeah.
if you have young people. I mean, I would be like if my sister had been in a DV relationship, I would be like, don't post, don't do this, don't do that. And I mean, it's just there's just things that I think we have to be careful, and I think it's a disservice to other people, men and women that are going through that situation for their safety
And
to
there's
be
there's
posting.
there's a lot of other things like, I'm just gonna say it. She said that someone raped her back when she was 17. I have those screenshots, but I'm not gonna show them on here because I'd have to blur out everything,
Gotcha.
because
Yeah.
you know how sensitive TikTok is. But if that's the case, why would you marry an SO?
Well, I mean, I know people who have been in situations that'll do that. I mean, I know it gets complicated, but at the same time, though, the risks that are out there, especially when it's you and a child now. It's so different when it's just you, but when it's you and a child, I mean, safety needs to be everything. And I mean, driving in the car, making TikToks, I mean,
Yeah, people were commenting on my video and they were like, she's driving and begging and her kids in the back. Yeah, this is what she does. Notice that since she said she moved, she's making zero videos in that place. Zero. Okay, maybe one on that red couch, but um yeah, it's really suspicious. Like,
yeah.
I
And,
just
and again, and again, two things can be true. You can still be a victim of domestic violence and you can still be a scammer.
yeah.
However, I think safety wise, if I had a child, I don't have any children, but if I had a child, or even for my own safety,
Well, that's his child.
yeah. But you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't
Yeah.
be posting and until everything had settled. And even then, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I know some people that just want to go incognito unless they just absolutely have to deal with that person. And even then, it's very layered, if that makes any sense. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not
I
just
mean,
posting
I just
everything. It's.
like I said, I asked your opinion on it because you're so well spoken and you ask the best questions in awareness lives and on videos and even in scammers chats. I've seen you ask great questions. I'm in
I
there on
get
a
blocked a
burner, by the
lot.
way.
I get
Just
muted and blocked a lot, but no, that's very kind. But seriously though,
yeah,
I thought you handled this topic very well. And Chief Slapaho, I agree. Your child should be a priority.
yeah,
And Jess, we're all rooting for you. We want everything. Yeah, like can you see the light?
yeah.
She mentioned that you
Thank
hide
you.
out.
There's
Yes.
So
there's 35 of you in here. If you please go give Jess a follow. Let's
yeah,
build her account up, and she can make some more videos and bring more awareness to Joe because I've
absolutely.
really been trying to get this off the ground with him. And I feel like with Jess here, we can get some more eyes on him and what he's doing, and maybe slow this money down, guys. When I tell you that this guy's probably gotten $50,000 to $75,000 on payouts, I'm not kidding you. If we knew how much these people really made, we'd probably fall out.
I'm sure. And what's so sad is, and I'm not saying he doesn't have any of it left, but he's probably already gone through it, and not giving any to your children or to a child that you know needed the money is absolutely disgusting.
Right. I mean, if that hotel is 150 a night, I mean, you do the math. I mean, come on, it adds up quick. And you went and spent $23,000 on a car. He's got this nice Apple. I think it's an Apple Watch. There's a $350 speaker in one video that he showed. Yeah, I mean, it's like to him, every day's Christmas, man.
Well, yeah, and we have Jess here who, food doesn't just show up on the table by going outside on a tree. She has to have money to go buy that. Basic necessities. I mean, I think that's why I get a little miffed for both men and women that do that because, I mean, just because he may not see the child doesn't mean the child's not eating. The child's got to have clothes. The child's got to have basics. He would like to go on a field trip occasionally, so that's just, especially when he has access to that kind of money and hasn't really even cared about it. And I can say that because she hasn't received anything. So anyway, but thank you for letting me up. And Jess, we're rooting for you. And I tell you what, you're a warrior. You're a warrior. You're going to.
But that's typical of narcissists to do. They will ditch a whole family, build a new family, and forget about their old family altogether. That is very true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
It's sickening,
Yep.
but you're very right. Although I will say this, Jess, I'm so glad you're not in that situation anymore. And
Right. Thank you.
man, I mean, I'm just glad, I'm glad you were able to survive the horrible thing that he did, and you're able to be there for your child. That's a blessing.
I'm
Thank you.
so glad that she was brave enough to come forward because, so many people won't. They're too scared to speak up about someone they know that's doing these kind of things. And
Definitely wasn't easy. I've been silent about this for 10 years because he is a very intimidating guy that has so many people behind him, and I didn't, and it was a lot. So I just shut down for years. So again, when finding all this, it just gave me something back. So thank you.
Well, the house of cards are falling, and I think we really reap what we sow in this life, and sometimes what we reap is a lot worse than what we imagine. I mean, from what I'm hearing, a thumb has been bitten off or been bitten. I mean, I don't know about y'all, but I don't normally bite my spouse's thumbs by any means. So
he
the whole
said it
thing
was
just sounds
he said it
unhealthy.
was broken. So
Okay, well that's yeah. I'm sorry. I was thinking of boxing when
yeah.
one of the
And
boxers
then
shoot you on the ears, but yeah.
he had a black eye in a video, and he said he fell down, but I don't believe it. I think she hit him, and then one video she said that he likes to wear hats, and I think he likes to wear the hats because it gets him engagement, And the first thing he says in every video is, "Please don't scroll." And he wears these hats and stuff. Well, she took his hat and she threw it out in the snow. He said, just like that one video that he had just made. He said that it was snowing, but yet they had a cheerleading event in town. I'm like, dude, I don't think so.
It's probably that family life is probably, and I'm using a very euphemistic word, very chaotic over there. I can't even imagine. Can't even imagine. So, but thank you for letting me up, and this was very good. I tell you what, Taylor, um, you gotta quit. You gotta quit being inconsistent and doing all that stuff. I mean, something doesn't make sense at all. So
Well,
I'm gonna drop myself. Do I just need to hit the little, I call it the couple button at the bottom? Do I need to just hit that?
I think you click on yourself,
Okay.
and then there's a button in the right-hand corner. I mean, I can do it for you.
Oh, I got
But I
it. I got
appreciate you coming up and giving your perspective. And I will continue to watch
Thank
Taylor
you.
or Paige or, whatever your name is. And I will continue to record your videos because I know you're going to delete them. And I'll continue to do updates about her. Now, the next person, like I said, Bugs has someone picked out, so we're going to do her next. So I'm going to get right started on her. And so it'll probably be again on Friday. I like these Friday night lives. I feel like Friday's good. People are trying to get home and they're preparing, they relax a little bit before the weekend starts. So I kind of like this vibe. And it gives us time to prepare and we'll probably do some updates about somebody else. I did want to show y'all something. Let me get this. Let me take his sticker off. So has anybody watched CC recently? And I don't know what I did with those things I had. The CC's claiming DV. CC is not lying, guys. And I'm gonna show you some proof before. I don't know what I did with those charges I had. She's not lying about the charges. Is she using it to beg? Yes, she is. But this guy that she says she married, I don't know. I don't know if she married him or not. But this guy is he's not a good guy at all. Let me see. Where are my screenshots? Okay, so first I'm gonna show you. Let me turn my camera back on.
Could I first say I have to log off now?
Okay, Jess, I really appreciate you coming up here and telling your story, and we'll continue to bring awareness to Joe.
Yes, please do. And I can come back next week if you want me to give you all an update and what I found out, and
Yes.
or keep following along and however you do this on here. And I'm going to keep posting and sharing more. So please keep following along, and thank you guys for listening and being here, and appreciate it very much. So thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate you coming up. You're a very brave woman. And everybody just give Jess a follow and keep her in your prayers.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Okay. Do you know how to get down, or you need me to do it?
Yeah, go ahead and kick me out of here. All right. Have a good night, guys.
All right. I'll talk to you later.
All right. Great. Thanks. Bye.
Bye. Okay. So this is a video that Cece had posted. So I want to point out the tag. It says Angel. You see that there? Then you see the bee on his neck. So let's find it. Where are they at? Why can't I find them? Oh, Jesus. Don't tell me they're on my other phone. Let's see if we can get green screen to work, guys. Oh, there he is. Can y'all see him? Yep, he sure does. He has charges of assaulting her and a child. Let's see. If I can. You see, that says Angel B tattoo. Police officer, assault, resist, obstruct. Weapons possession by felon. Oh, possession of narcotics. Firearms. Firearms. Breaking and entering into a building with intent. Another possession. Another possession. Let's see what else we got here. Yeah, police officer, assault, resist, obstruct. Possession. Stolen property. Another controlled substance. He was released in October 2025. Yep. He's a bad dude. Yeah, she picked some winners. I've got it screenshotted on here too. You won't be able to see it real well. These are screenshotted from a desktop. Let me turn my camera on real quick. No, I gotta take this green screen off. No contact. Let's see. He's out on bond. He can't have any contact with her. Now, I think some of these charges are reinstated because he's probably on probation from his old charges, but here's the charges. Assault intent, great bodily harm, or strangulation, domestic violence, assault, pregnant individual in the 3rd degree, child abuse in the 4th degree. And like I said, I think some of these other charges are from his probation. So, yeah, not a good dude. Ladies, be sure that you check it out individuals before you go and date them, or even marry them for that matter. But I just wanted to put that out there. Some people said she was lying. You know, I'm here for the truth, whether it makes the scammer look good or it makes the scammer look bad. It is what it is. She's not lying about that. But she is using the situation to beg. So, there's that. But I wanted people to know that, it is true. So, I hope she gets the help that she needs. And I hope that she stays single for a while and figures out how to get through life without having a man, because obviously that's not working out too well for her. But yeah, you're right, Jules. A lot of people did think she was lying because she's lied about a lot of things before. But I had to do some digging to find it, but I finally found it. I went digging to see if she was lying or she was telling the truth. So she's telling the truth. It did happen, and like I said, I hope things get better for her. I don't want, I'm staying single too, Bugs. So it is what it is. But anybody have any other questions? Yeah, Jules, like I said, it's, if I can find it, like, I'm gonna put it out, because don't come at me and say you're validating her scamming. I'm not validating her begging. It's just that's the truth in black and white. So, that's what we're here for. We're here for the truth. So, anyway, Bugs, thank you. You're amazing. I'll get right on Miss Darla. That's the
I'm
lady's
always here.
That's the lady's name we're going to do next. Her name is Darla. So be looking for Darla next week. And everybody take care. Have a good night. Stay safe over the weekend if you're going to get bad weather. Hopefully you got plenty of hot chocolate and you can stay indoors and not have to go anywhere. I don't plan on leaving my house if I don't have to. So, but I appreciate. Do I
Thanks
have?
everybody for coming in.
I'll send you something, Jules. I don't want to put it out until I do the live because if she get any kind of wind, oh boy. So, but I gotta go down that rabbit hole. That's the next one. So we'll see. We'll see what that entails. But thank you everybody for coming. And as I always say, thank you for supporting awareness. Without you, awareness would not be as effective in this community. You reposting videos, liking videos, commenting on videos, coming into these awareness lives and supporting and tapping. It means everything to us. And keep on doing what you're doing and stay safe on these streets because they can get kind of wild. But we'll see y'all next time.
Everybody have a good weekend.
You too.